I tried BenQ's newest hybrid docking station for a week, and the most insane thing I've experienced is this button. You'll find out why. I've tested this dock every day for work and for gaming, and you might be surprised with what I'm going to say. So in this video, I'll show you some of the cool features that comes with this BENQ BeCreatus DP1310 hybrid dock. Also some pros and cons, who it's really for, and my personal experience using this as a work from home professional against my cheaper Lenovo hybrid dock. Before we get into this, I would like to say thanks to BENQ for sending me this dock for review. However, this will be an honest review based on my experience, so you guys don't have to worry about me being biased. First, let's check out what the device has to offer. Up the front, we have two standard USB-A ports with 10 gigabits per second transfer speed and charging capability of 7.5 watts. Next to it, we have one USB-C port, also supports 10 gigabits per second and 36 watt charging, a standard 3.5mm audio input, and a big green button that feels satisfying to press on. Up the back, we have a DC power input, a USB-C input for connecting to your device, which is capable of 100 watt fast charging, two HDMI 2.1 that supports a crazy 4K 120 and 8K 60 output, which we'll get to that later, standard HDMI 2.1 and DisplayPort 1.2, and also an Ethernet input and 3 USB-A ports for your peripherals. Couple of things to unpack there, but let's check out what's in the box. Up the top, we have the most important piece of paper which I highly recommend following, an extended warranty card, and the BENQ DP1310. Underneath, we have a standard charging adapter, a 1m USB-C 3.2, and a 1.8m HDMI 2.1 for your 8K display. My initial impression has been quite positive as this feels quite premium and the form factor is quite small, which I really like. This unique grille design helps double the cooling efficiency and also helps prevent the device from slipping. Okay, now let's run through how to set up this dock. So I'm currently using 3 monitors right now. Two of them are 27-inch curved displays at 1440p and 144Hz refresh rate. Third one is a 24-inch 1080p 75Hz display, flipped vertical so I feel like a cool kid. Easiest way is to pull out all the existing video cables so we can see it all clearly. Since this is a hybrid dock, we only have 2 HDMI ports and 1 display port available. So if you don't have a display port cable, then you gotta go out and get one. We can just plug all the cables from our screens into the output ports. Pretty straightforward. Now we can use the USB-C that came with the box and plug that into this input port. The last thing we gotta do is plug in the power adapter. Now we can see a green light, which means it's powered on. I'm using the M1 MacBook Air, so I need to download the Display Link software, which is available on the website. Link in the description if you need. Alright, let's connect the USB-C to my M1 MacBook Air. This dock is compatible with a wide range of laptops, so you don't really have to worry about your laptop being not compatible. Now if you're like me, then you probably have a lot of other peripherals to connect, like your keyboard, mouse, webcam, mic, speakers, and some other unnecessary extras. But we don't have enough USB-A ports on the dock, so how do we fix this? All you need is another USB hub, and you can just go ahead and plug everything into that USB hub and just connect it to the dock and you can use it like normal. Remember that important piece of paper called manual? Make sure to read it first because I actually got confused with the in and out labels, so better not skip that. Okay, so now everything is set. You might be thinking, is that it? Well, that is not it. Remember this green button? This big green button lets you switch between 2 different sources. So let's say I have my PC here. This HDMI 2.1 is connected to my computer and I can just plug it into the HDMI input here. Now if I press this button, it switches to my computer. The cool thing is it also switches all my peripherals to whatever source or device I'm using. You can also do the same if you have any gaming consoles, so I think that's pretty neat. Alright, so after I've used it for about a week, here are my pros and cons about this BeCreatus DP1310 hybrid dock. It definitely feels more premium and the small form factor is something I really like because that means I can just hide it on my table to reduce clutter. I also really like the ability to switch between different source of device whenever I need. What I've been doing before was just putting my laptop to sleep and then turning on the other computer so the screens would just switch source. So this big green button allows me to skip that step, which is definitely more convenient. Something to note is that this would only switch one screen because there's only one HDMI that's connected to my computer. If you're like me and you want to switch all 3 screens between the laptop and the computer, then you need something called a KVM switch. This is just a docking station in the end, so having this extra capability is already a plus. Also, the ability to output 8K 60Hz is also insane. Too bad I don't have an 8K screen to try it out, but I would have loved to see how crispy it would have looked. As for the cons, it's the price tag. Here in Australia, it retails for $500, which is quite a lot more expensive than other docking stations. And that's about it for the cons. This is actually a solid piece of device which really does everything you would expect it to do, with an added bonus of supercharging your second display source up to 8K. So who is this really for? If you're a gamer like me and you have a gaming rig or console, then this is for you. Having the ability to switch seamlessly from your laptop to another gaming platform really makes it convenient. However, I would only recommend this to console gamers that only need one screen. If you need to use 2 or more screens to game, then this is not for you and you need to use a KVM switch instead. Personally, I've been using this as my main hybrid dock for working from home as a cybersecurity professional. And I gotta say, it's definitely a step up from this Lenovo hybrid dock that I've been using. My Lenovo dock would oftentimes crash, with results in the screens going black and then resetting all the windows into a central position, which I would then need to move them back to the original spot. My experience with this BeCreatus DP1310 has been solid and reliable. I haven't had it crash on me or any noticeable issue at all. However, since I use all 3 screens for work and also for my personal computer, the green button to switch between sources hasn't really been useful in my particular use case. So I basically would need to put my laptop to sleep so the source would automatically switch over to my other computer. But having the capability of a triple 4K 60 display is something to consider. I currently don't have 4K screens right now, but I do plan on upgrading them in the future, so having this dock is essentially future-proofing that part. If you're also working from home and looking into a hybrid dock and you don't really play games, then there are definitely cheaper options than this. But if you're looking for a solid, reliable dock that won't let you down, or if you're a gamer that likes to burn time when you're in one of those boring meetings, then you really can't go wrong with this hybrid dock. If you're sold on this video and want to purchase this BENQ BeCreatus DP1310 hybrid dock, then links are in the description, so make sure to check it out.